Hi everyone, my name's Tanner and my wife Amy and I design, make, and sell all of our own products. Today I'm going to show you one of the two ways that we finish the edging on our leather projects. Alright, so this is a hand tool that we use for burnishing, but I also have a machine for doing the same exact process, and I'll show you both. So this is our burnishing machine, and as you can see, the burnishing machine has an attachment that's basically roughly the same as the handheld burnisher. On the other side of the machine, there is a sanding drum. This drum we'll talk about in a future video, but it is for edge finishing as well, just in a different way. So you can see immediately what the advantages here would be compared to the handheld version with the machine version. You can adjust the speeds. You can slow it right down or speed it right up, and that really helps to melt the waxes that we use on the edges. We use 3 different types of finishes for this style of edging. We either use a beeswax. This one's obviously been used quite a bit, but all the same, it starts off as a nice rectangular chunk of beeswax, and I rub that on the edges. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. I also use, on occasion, this burnishing agent from Tandy. It's basically just a natural gum that you can apply with a paintbrush. And thirdly, if it is an edge that I just want to polish up a bit, I'll just use water. And so that can be used with these wooden tools, no problem, and it creates a really nice finish as well. So this is a clutch that we've got on the bench this week, and I'm just going to show you how to apply, or how I apply, the beeswax. A little bit goes a long ways. You definitely don't want to overdo it because it can get kind of sticky on the inside, and it's definitely not going to harm the piece, but it is going to create you a little bit more cleanup than is entirely necessary. So I like to just kind of rub this gently on here. Apply it relatively evenly, but at the same time, with the burnishing wheel especially, the beeswax heats up and kind of flows a little bit. So in spots where it's a little bit thin and spots where it's a little bit thick, it'll kind of even out in the end. And some of these edges here, like on the skull, are a little bit difficult. So some of this I'll do by hand when I'm at the end to kind of get into the grooves and that kind of thing along the jawbone and cheekbone in this particular instance. But most of these straight stretches will be great for this burnishing wheel. So I just apply an even, consistent pressure. Don't push too hard. You don't want to kind of fold up the leather. But at the same time, you do want enough contact with the burnishing drum and the leather so that it, in this case, melts the beeswax a little bit and creates this nice kind of smooth, glossy edge. It's a really nice finish, and I found that our customers really appreciate not only the look and feel of the finish, but also the aroma. Gives that really classic, natural scent to the work, and even now as I am burnishing it, it's creating quite a beautiful aroma just here in the workshop, so I do love that. I also love that it's a natural product. We've used vegetable tan leather here and EcoFlow water dye, so this is a really environmentally kind of conscious approach, and I love that about this leather and about this process as well. So there's all different widths here. Some of these you can get in there, and it helps to, I found that it helps to have a little bit of a gap in the bottom of the burnisher to really make contact with. I find that if you get too tight with this weight of leather, even if it's the exact width of the leather, it's not ideal. It's not really contacting the exact edge, so it's better to kind of pick one that's sort of a little bit larger than the piece. Also, if you're working with a lot of darker colors, as we do a lot of black and that kind of thing, you don't want to end up with a bunch of black on the front of your non-black pieces. So of course you need to clean your drum frequently. And in this case, I recently just finished a black piece on here, so I'm being conscious of that as I'm burnishing the edges of this red piece. Also do recommend, if you're using one of these machines, that you do wear some sort of eye protection. Particles of the wax can kind of fly back at you, when you're working, just kind of like woodworking really, so you want to be careful of that. Obviously be careful of loose clothing and that kind of thing too. You can see some of that wax flying up there, and that's going to happen frequently. It's not a big deal. It's a little bit messy, but it's well worth it in the end to give a nicely finished aesthetic to your piece, and it helps protect the item as well as a customer uses, especially with something like this as a purse. It's going to be outside, inside, inside of another purse probably. It could be set on a countertop or wherever, and you want to make sure that it's nicely sealed and well finished, looks good. Alright, so that's how you do hand burnishing or machine burnishing. And in an upcoming video, my wife Amy will be talking about the other type of edging that we do, which is hand painted with a special edging. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're looking for tips on doing your own home business, your own craft business, metal and leather projects, or other types of crafts as well, please subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell so you get notifications every time we put up new content.